What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw's TV, back with another live stream. And today, there's a lot going on in the football world today, actually. We'll break it all down and we'll look at the latest news surrounding Arsenal. We are now 6 days away from the official start of the US tour, and we still have not signed one player. Should we be panicking, or do we just stay calm? Is it the Euros? Is it the Copa America? Is it delaying transfers? Are we going to get all of our business done? I'm going to be real, people. I'm not, I'm a little bit panicky. I would have liked to have seen 2 or 3 players going on this US tour. Who knows? We might tie up 1 or 2 deals this week and calm all of our nerves. But big up to everybody locked in. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're close to 79k. I think we're about 30 subscribers away. So subscribe if you haven't already. We're here daily. I will be covering the Arsenal US tour over there from next Monday. So be prepared for your morning videos of me walking up and down the street. Hopefully get some interviews and hopefully I get in the press conference. And because my Mbappe question divided opinion so much last year, I will be, if I do get in the press conference, I am going to put it to the community what question you would like me to ask Mikel Arteta. Let's see what you guys come up with, something better, hopefully. Although, I have to say, and I always did say, the Mbappe question was the biggest talking point in that one. But just quickly, speaking of Kylian Mbappe, I tried, people. I said, Mikel Mbappe. He said, no, we can't talk about other players. He ends up at Real Madrid, number 9, R9, M9. I know Mbappe didn't have a good Euros. I know people are writing him off. For me, he's still the best player in the world. I just think he got stuck in a rut at PSG. And it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see how he gets on playing through the middle. He's been on the wing for a long time. How will he get, how will he get on playing through the middle as a striker at Real Madrid? Unbelievable, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw the press conference this morning, but the whole of the Bernabeu was sold out just to see Kylian Mbappe announced. And, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh, maybe he's not the best player in the world. I'm thinking, how many players would sign for Real Madrid and sell out the whole stadium just for the announcement? Apparently, the last one to do that was Cristiano Ronaldo. Gareth Bale's one was almost sold out, but apparently Ronaldo's one was a complete sellout. Mbappe sold out the whole stadium. Stay away from Drake concerts. You're damn right, bro. I definitely will. I learned that, going there last time. And Kendrick, obviously, has done a lot of damage to Drake. But yeah, Mbappe signed, and that'll be interesting to see how he gets on at Real Madrid. Yeah, it was a free as well. It was a free transfer, but they're saying he got an £85 million signing on fee. So free transfers are not free transfers, really. Did you see Mason Cameron cooking Drake? I haven't seen that. But those two are good on that podcast. Tickets were free. I would have gone to that, Genuinely would have gone to that. But still sold out even with free tickets, Still shows how big of a player he is. And he is a big player. Less transfers, more red stripes. Oh, man, that's what Arsenal does to you. Big up high, as he said, I got parking tickets still if you want. Hey, relax, man. We'll never go to any Drake concert again. Anyone see Arteta's interview? He's looked like he's aged 15 years. I couldn't believe it. Arteta had grey hair and all sorts. I said, boy, summertime, you should have been relaxing. But that title run must have took it out of him, man. Arteta looks about 55 years of age, but a stress of management, I suppose. Anyway, let's get into today's show. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. Let's hit 79k today. We only need about 30 subscribers. Let's get another benchmark because we keep climbing the ladder, people. Mbappe is overrated? I don't think so. I am a big fan of Mbappe. I know he got a lot of criticism after the Euros, but I don't forget what he's done. World Cup final hat-trick. The goals for PSG, the Monaco. I think he's an unbelievable footballer. I really do. Anyway, let's talk briefly about, while we're talking about the Euros, before we do get into Arsenal, a couple of things I want to talk about. First of all, The team of the tournament has been announced. And as I said yesterday, I thought it was a meaty tournament. I don't think it was a great tournament. Not one free kick scored. Not that much skill. Not that much of individual brilliance. But this is the team of the tournament. I've got one question. Just one. Maybe two, but definitely one. The first question, I want to know what the guy was or girl was smoking, drinking, whether they hadn't slept enough. How on earth does Kyle Walker get in team of the tournament? Did they watch Kyle Walker play? Remember the 50 Cent song? I get high all the time. I smoke that good. I stay high all the time. I'm telling you, they must have been higher than the moon. Did they watch Kyle Walker play? He had an absolute stinker. First game he did okay. Apart from that, he stunk out the joint. Wow. Was Pep voting this? Akanji? I mean, even Akanji for me is even a bit dodgy, you know. Saliba, though. Saliba. Arsenal point of view. Saliba. Delighted to see Saliba in there. Second of all, by the way, what does it say about modern-day strikers when they've put Musiala up front in the team of the tournament as a false nine? Do you know what I mean? He didn't even really play there because Germany actually played Havertz up front and Musiala attacking midfield. So the strikers have been that stinky in this tournament that they've put an attacking midfielder up front. They put the Spain midfield three. Let me read it out for anyone not listening. Mike Mignon in goal, Magic Mike. Again, not sure about that. I think maybe the Spanish goalkeeper. Kyle Walker at right back, unbelievable. Should have never made it. Cucurella, you would have never thought pre-tournament he would be in this. A lot of Chelsea fans want him out. Akanji and Saliba. Saliba definitely deserves it. I'm not sure about Akanji. I think maybe Laporte should have got in there. Fabian Ruiz, Dani Olmo and Rodri midfield three. Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal and Musiala up front. I mean, Spain have dominated and deservedly so. Musiala should not be up front. Surely there's got to be a striker. But then when I think about it, Kane was poor. Morata wasn't great. Lukaku was poor. Mouani for France was terrible. Striker market absolutely on the floor at the moment. But yeah, Kyle Walker is just unbelievable that he made team at the tournament. He was absolutely awful for England. He should have got dropped, in my opinion. So yeah, very interesting surrounding that one. And somebody just put this in the comments, by the way, that Mats Hummels has just signed for Bologna. Does Hummels signing for Bologna? Hummels was just signed for Bologna on a free. He's obviously a centre-back. Does that now enable Bologna to sell Calafiori to Arsenal now that they've got a centre-back replacement? Who knows? My aim of today was actually not mention Calafiori for this whole show, but there you go. I've mentioned him after 8 minutes. Christopher said, no, Curtis, Walker was good. Williams didn't get past Walker, did he? He got dragged in for his first goal. Mate, in the second half, he had him breakdancing. He got dragged in for the first goal. Tried to recover, didn't block the shot. The shot went in the bottom corner. Then the second goal, he doesn't get close enough to Cucurella, gets nutmegged for the cross, and they score the winner. Kyle Walker, his crossing as well on the ball has been absolutely dreadful. Dreadful, mate. So, nah, mate, he was poor. He was poor. I hope he plays like that for Manchester City because he's been absolutely awful. Another one is an interesting one today is that Moussa Diaby from Aston Villa is on his way to Saudi. 50 million euros, 42.5 million pounds. And it looks like he's going to go. And Al Ittihad, interesting that. That was a player we were linked with. I remember when Mudryk went to Chelsea. We were then linked with Moussa Diaby. Leverkusen were asking for 100 million euros. Funny how he's ended up at Villa. Hasn't worked out. Leon Bailey has obviously been the first choice right winger. But it looks like Diaby is on his way out of Aston Villa going to Saudi. 42.5 million pounds. Again, quick question. Arsenal need a right winger. Should we have gone for Moussa Diaby at 42 million pounds in this market? Not bad money, you know, so an interesting one. Yeah, it is always a little bit sad when a player of that age goes to Saudi and he's going for the bag. But interesting. It is interesting, that one. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. And just finally, before we get to the Arsenal news, obviously Aubameyang's on his way to Saudi as well. They're cashing out. Big up J-Day, who said, Curtis, today's my birthday. Big up, happy birthday, bro. Hope we have a good one. Villa would never sell to us. Yeah, they may see us as a rival. Top four, and obviously Unai Emery probably doesn't want to do us any favours. The big breaking news of the day, football-wise, overall, apart from Mbappe completing his move to Real Madrid, is Gareth Southgate has resigned as the England manager. After 102 games and almost 8 years in charge, Gareth Southgate has announced he is to leave his role as manager of the Three Lions. Now, for me, it's the right decision. It's funny, you know, because I didn't tweet this, but I was thinking this, and I've discussed this with people. There are a lot of similarities with Southgate to Arteta in terms of you've brought the group back together, which they are. You can see they're, you know, they get on well. You've been very close to winning, but not quite won. And I do respect the fact that he resigned, because the crazy thing is they were going to offer him a new contract for 2 more years. He has to go. People will say quarter-final, 2 finals and a semi-final, but with the squad he's got, he should have won a trophy. His tactics have been poor. Even against Spain the other day, I thought the tactics were so wrong. Pushing Bellingham to the left and, you know, Kane dropping deep, and so many things just weren't right. And I think he's done the right thing walking away. Going to be interesting. Eddie Howe is the favourite to get the job, although apparently he earns double what Southgate was getting. So will the FA pay that kind of money? Other managers being linked, like Frank Lampard as well. So we'll see what happens there with England. But Gareth Arteta, Gareth Southgate has resigned. He should have won 1 trophy. You know, they lost at home against an Italian team that wasn't great, didn't even make the next World Cup. And even this one, I think they should have caused Spain way more problems. Look at the draw that the guy got. They if they'd have been in that other side of the draw, they would have gone home ages ago. So, you know, we'll see what happens. If we win nothing next season, Arteta may have to do the same thing, says D. Adam said, Arteta resigning. What are you? Well, will he resign? I'm not sure. Joba said, if Arsenal doesn't win anything this season, he will resign if the news is from Mikel's camp. Craig David Settings, I'm walking away. Listen, he had to go. Southgate is not the one. They said, Southgate, you're the one. Football's coming home again. No, you're coming home on the plane, bro. Sean says, big up from Dublin. Madness over here at the moment with the riot. Are they rioting over there? I didn't even know, bro. Stay safe over there, man. Big up for tuning in, Sean. And Brian says, João Felix is kind of a false 9. We have 3 of those. I don't know about that unless Arteta sees him as a left A option. Brian, big up, bro. And we will get into that. You know what? Let's just get into it now, because you've brought the topic up. So let's get into it. And it's another name. It is a good healthy debate, Chris. He's talking about Kyle Walker. It is. I don't think Kyle Walker was anywhere near his best in this tournament. I thought on the ball he was poor. And he relies on that recovery pace to get him out of the situation. And I don't think it got him out of all those situations in this tournament. He's been a fantastic right back. But to me now, it looks like Walker should be downgraded. And somebody else, whether that's Trent or Reece James or Ben White, should come in. Certainly not Trippier. He should be out of there as well. But let's talk about João Felix. The Telegraph today stating Arsenal are interested in a potential loan move for Atletico Madrid striker, attacking midfielder, second striker. How would you actually describe him? João Felix. Master of Disaster said, João Felix said in an interview when he was in Chelsea, his best position is to play in a 10 role. What do you guys make of it? We've been linked with him before. Now, Barcelona have taken him on loan last season. They decided not to pursue a deal to buy him on a permanent this season. Now, is that because they can't afford him? Or is it just simply wasn't good enough? He's gone back to Atletico Madrid. where he had a big fallout with Simeone. And according to reports, Simeone wants him out of the door. Doesn't want to bring him in on a permanent. Last season, Barcelona, 30 games, 18 starts, 7 goals, 3 assists. So 10 goal contributions in the Champions League. 5 starts, 3 goals, 1 assist. A lot of those games he wasn't playing as the out-and-out striker. In a number of those games, in fact, where he did start, Lewandowski was in front of him. He was sort of playing as the second striker. So, I mean, we're going to talk about... I mean, apparently Flick wanted him, but Barca can't afford him. He's still on a big contract, and he's going to be very difficult to shift. £240,000 a week. Atletico apparently willing to loan him out again, as long as the club covers his wages. So, you know, they're not happy with him. Well, I suppose those guys like Simeone, once you fall out with them, you know, it's probably difficult to come back. His contract actually runs until 2029. So he's still got 5 years left on his contract. 4.5 years, 5 years. So to get him out of there, you're going to spend big money. I think we're going to have to put a poll up. Let's get a poll up. Now, leaning into the next story after this, and it's obviously one of the headlines, and we're going to talk about it. Fulham Smih Rowe, there's been an offer from Fulham. Arsenal have turned it down. We're going to discuss that in more detail and break down how and where we think that deal might or might not happen. But if Smih Rowe is to leave, we only really have Martin Odegaard or Fabio Vieira in that attacking midfield role. I know obviously Havertz can play there, but we saw how that worked or how it didn't work. So my thing is this. Would you take him on loan? Would you take João Felix on loan for Arsenal next season? I don't know. It's not the direction I would want to go in. I would rather see Arsenal sign Dani Olmo or Eze. Dani Olmo today being linked with Manchester City, by the way. Which is not what you want to see. And obviously with Pep Guardiola being there and the connection with Spanish players, you would expect that to be a possibility. But would you guys take João Felix on loan? It's one of those deals that I think early in the window, you might look at it and go, nah, I don't want João Felix. Because even though he had that unbelievable reputation at Benfica, he's gone to Atletico Madrid. It hasn't happened. He's gone to Barca on loan. It didn't happen. He went to Chelsea on loan. It didn't happen. Are we now saying he's not that good? Is it just not the right club for him? I know a lot of people from Portugal say that going to Atletico Madrid was a massive mistake. You know, Simeone is not an attacking manager. And that club doesn't suit him. Chelsea were a bit of a mess when he went there. Barcelona, though, you know, they do play attacking football. It didn't happen. I'm not sure with him. Listen, for me, he's better than Fabio Vieira, 100%. He's a quality footballer. And I think it gets to the point later on in the window, you start saying to yourself, beggars can't be choosers. He is better than Fabio Vieira. He is better than Havertz in the 10 role or the attacking midfield role. What I don't want is Arsenal to try and sign him and pretend he's the striker that we've bought. You know what I mean? If we signed him and bought a striker, I don't think I would be completely against it on loan. It's a loan. You're just here to help the squad. Get it with an option to buy. If he doesn't do well, you send him back. If he does well, you negotiate a deal. He's 24 years of age. I got to admit, you know, I wouldn't be totally against it. I wouldn't be totally against it on a loan deal. Especially, you know, if it's just an option and you can send him back in a year. He's 24. We play better football than Chelsea. Yeah, better than Fabio doesn't say a lot. I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think from an Arsenal point of view. Maybe not my own personal point of view. The question I'm sort of putting out there is there a financial problem at Arsenal this summer? That's my question to the community. And the club will never reveal that. Of course they won't. But is there a financial problem at Arsenal this summer? Why have we not done any business by the middle of July, when the season starts in the middle of August. Now, Arteta can go in interviews all he likes and say, oh, the Euros, the Copa America, it's difficult to get deals done. No, Mbappe's signed for clubs. Douglas Luiz has moved. Kefren Turam moved. You know, you can name loads of them. Xerxes moved. There are multiple players around world football who have signed for big clubs. Now, of course, City haven't signed, Arsenal haven't signed, but we're meant to be getting a head start on Manchester City. We're the ones playing catch-up. When you're at the head of the queue, you're not under as much pressure as the ones behind you to get something done. So, Bayern Munich as well, yeah, you're right. Elise signed, Paulinho's signed. Is there a problem at Arsenal? Are we in a situation where the wage bill is too high, loan players have come back, and we've got to get rid of players before we can go and splurge in this market? Pratim said, I thought you didn't like Xerxes. Listen, he didn't convince me that he was going to be the game changer, and I'm not saying I think we should have signed him. But I just wonder with Arsenal if there's an issue. We don't have that many players on huge wages, but the problem with Arsenal, we've got average players on big wages for what they should be getting. Like I said, when Ederson is on 100 grand a week and he's won 5 Premier Leagues, and we've got Reece Nelson on 100 grand a week who hardly ever kicks a ball for us, that tells you that we're not, maybe at the top end, we're not paying loads of players top money, but the lower players are getting big money for the level that they're at. So, Eddie Nketiah still, hasn't been sold. Ramsdale, there are a number of players we need to get rid of. So, I'm not sure. Maybe we're just taking our time. I always say when it's quiet, that's when the business hopefully is being done. Odeon said it's not about, it's about us having targets, talking about catching City and not doing anything in the middle of summer. We are not serious. Yeah, listen. Like I said, you've got to find a way to catch these people. And at the end of the day, Edu's got to go to work, bro. Edu's got to go to work. Manchester City are about to get nearly £20 million for Liam Delap. I spoke about this the other day. Liam Delap has been on loan in the Championship. A lot of you will never have heard of him. He's Rory Delap's son, the long throw merchant who used to play for Stoke, right? His son has not kicked a ball for Man City. He's been on loan to Preston, scored about 8 goals. They're selling him to Ipswich for £20 million. 15 million plus 5 million in add-ons. So why can't we get £15 million for Reece Nelson? Or £15 million for, what's his name? Beref, who just went, who scored goals over there in Austria. Or 15 million quid. We can't get 15 million for Sambi Lokonga, who's been a full international for Belgium. We can't get 15 million for Nuno Tavares, but they're getting 15 million for players that we've never heard of. So I do put a lot of the weight and blame on Arteta, but I'm looking at Edu right now saying, bro, what is going on here? You've got to actually do your job properly to give Arteta a better chance of doing his job properly. Because if you sell Eddie for 30 million, you sell Nelson for, let's say, 17, 18 million, you get 30 million for Aaron Ramsdale, you pick up, 40 million for Emile Smith Rowe, all of a sudden, you're sitting there going, wow, we've made 100 million. And the manager can go, wow, I've got 250 million and I've just cleared £400,000 a week wages. So as much as I do put the pressure on Arteta, Edu has to help. Stop complaining. You're a fake fan if you do. Oh, just sit back and enjoy it. Hey, Sam, big up yourself. But listen, and I know, big up Sam. He always supports the community. As I've always said, and I say this before and I say it again, no matter what angle you have of Arsenal, of Arteta, of Edu, of the Cronkays, ultimately, whether you're coming from that direction or that direction, we all want the same thing, success for Arsenal. People have to do their job properly for this football club to achieve something. I'm worried that we go on tour on Monday. The club actually fly out on Sunday, but the tour starts on Monday and we don't have one new signing. I think a lot of what we've done in the last 2 seasons is why we've had good seasons, although we didn't get over the finish line. We got signings done early. You know, Rice was over there, Havertz, Timber, they were all on pre-season tour. The year before, Jesus, Zinchenko, these guys were on the pre-season tour, bedding in. I'm looking at it now going, we're not going to have Saka, we probably won't have Saliba, we're not going to have Rice, and maybe new signings as well. You know, you don't want to go to America and get beat by Man United and get beaten by Liverpool, and you're still trying to sign players. I know, listen, we don't mind waiting if we get the right players, but just get the ball rolling. Get the ball rolling. Nah, Sam's a good guy, man. He's joking around, but that's how they come for you on Twitter. If you complain, you know. Sadiq said, see, João Felix lacks motivation, no consistency. The only thing I would say with João Felix is he's struggling to find a home. And I've said it before, we are RSPC Arsenal. We like rescuing stray dogs. Maybe this is another stray dog, you know, that we can... Odegaard said, didn't he, all the clubs he went to didn't feel like home. He came to Arsenal, it felt like home. I don't know. On loan with no obligation to buy, but... LSU said, big up the community. Sorry I'm late. No to Felix. The cat, he stunk up Chelsea. Havertz stunk up Chelsea. We paid 65 million for him. But yeah, I get you. We can't keep rescuing stray dogs. How many times are we going to clean up these dogs with fleas? Paw Patrol settings, bro. I'm telling you. We are literally Paw Patrol. Hero on the double. I told you, it's great when you have kids because, you know, you have to start watching cartoons again that you watched when you was a kid. We love a rescue mission. RSPC Arsenal people. I'm telling you. Does he lack motivation? Maybe. He's definitely at a crossroads in his career, that's for sure. I'll leave that poll up for a few more minutes. Let me know, would you take João Felix on loan with an option to buy? I think it would appeal to Arsenal, if I'm being honest. Let's talk about... Here we go. Saka around Fulham Smih Rowe. That song, they might need to remix it, people. Smith Rowe could be on his way out. Fulham have seen an initial bid understood to be worth around 30 million plus bonuses for Emile Smith Rowe rejected by Arsenal. Fulham are now considering making an improved proposal while Crystal Palace are also keen on the player. I'm going to say a couple of things around this and then I want your guys' opinions. We'll get into your comments. Are you fit, bruv? Part 3. We may not get there. We may not get there, people. Well, let's see. 30 million plus bonuses believed to be around 5 million. I've read the story, Simon Jones. The report states that Arsenal would accept around £40 million for Smith Rowe. The story also says Smith Rowe wanted to stay, but it seems the club are not going to push him out, but... there's a price that they will accept. You got to remember, £40 million our record sale. I think it's still to this day. I think it's Iwobi, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and maybe Mark Overmars was close to that. Again, and I've said this before and I've said it again, it almost makes so much sense that we won't do it. Crystal Palace apparently want him. Surely you go to Crystal Palace and say, you've got a 60 million release clause on Eze. We value Smith Rowe at 40 million. We'll give you Smith Rowe plus 4. We'll give you Smith Rowe plus 20 for Eze. Or we'll give you Smith Rowe plus 30 for Eze. I said before, I would like Smith Rowe to stay at Arsenal. However, if you bring Eze, you bring in Danny Olmo, you bring in someone like that, I would hold my hands up and let him go for 40 million. I just don't trust Arsenal to replace him adequately. 40 million for Smith Rowe, come through the youth team, 2 poor seasons. Last season, not his fault, wasn't being picked. Year before, injury prone. The reality is Arsenal will take 40 million for him. They will take 40 million. Jake, I agree. I don't know this, and I shouldn't. This is just a personal opinion. I think something has to be wrong between him and Arteta. I don't really get why he just turned on him so quickly. The man's got a tattoo saying, trust the process. What more did you want from the guy? 40 million, I think, gets him out the door. I think Arsenal will sell him. Apparently, you know, Palace appeals to him. South London, he's from Croydon. Palace, you would say, maybe are a better team than Fulham. Fulham are one of them teams that are a pretty steady team, but they're a team that if they lost one or two players would probably get dragged into a relegation battle. So maybe he would rather go to Palace, but do Palace have the money at the moment? But they have just sold Elise for 60 million, and obviously Fulham have sold Paulinho for around 42 million. I think he's on his way out. To me, if Fulham have offered 30 plus 5 in bonuses, Arsenal want 40. That's not difficult for them to get there. If he's apparently Fulham's main target, I think they'll get there. And I think Smith Rowe's going to leave this summer. Disappointing because I think there's a talent there. If we upgrade on him, I will say no problem. You know, I don't mind that. But if they don't replace him adequately and you're trying to tell me Fabio Vieira's a better player than him as a backup to Odegaard, then I think they're mistaken. So if he goes, just make sure somebody better than him comes into the football club. Again, it's pure profit because he came through the youth system. So that is maybe why they're keen to let him go. And listen, I agree with you, One Love. There isn't no time for sentiment. I've always said I would like him to stay, but if the offer's good and we can bring in a better player, I'm prepared to see Arsenal do it. I have no problem with that. The problem with Arsenal at times, we sell quality and don't replace adequately. Get Danny Olmo, get Eze, someone like that, no problem. We keep it moving. Big up Fitz in the chat, member for 34 months, said the problem is, Edu, stop buying merch, Big C. You can't moan about the dog pooing on your lawn, yet you still feed it loads of coal. Bro, I'm telling you, Fitz, you are right, you know. You know the thing with me, bro? I have a lot of self-awareness, right? So when people tell me things, I'm aware of my own faults as well, my friend. I get caught up. I'm going to be real, people. Let me go full screen. Because Fitz is pulling up with the shotgun. He's just kicked down the front door, mashed up the windows, everything, with the shotgun saying, give me the loot. Let me tell you, I'll be honest, Fitz, right? This is therapy. This is what we're here for. I go round in circles with Arsenal. New season, so I'm like, okay, optimism. Who knows? We sign some players. We win some games. All right? Then we end up in a title race. It nearly happens. We don't quite get there. Then I get all emotional. I'm not buying no merch. Get Arteta out. Edu's not good enough. The Kroenkes are ripping us off. I sit there. I say, I'm not buying no merch. Then I'm going on holiday. I'm going somewhere sunny. And I'm like, don't really want to wear last season's kit. Feels out of date. Then they drop the new training kit. And I go, oh, damn. That training kit looks nice, man. And I'm going on holiday. My birthday's in the summer. Oh, go on. Just treat yourself. Treat yourself to a new t-shirt. Then I wear it. Then the kit comes out. Then I think, you know what? Because I'm making content, let me buy kit. Wear it on the stream. You know, we can also balance out the tax, you know. And then I'm sitting here looking like a hypocrite. I hold my hands up. Guilty as charged, people. Guilty as charged. I'm screaming Kroenke out in new merch. It stinks. It absolutely stinks. It really does. It does. I hold my hands up, Fitz. The only thing I would say, Fitz, just in response to that, if we stop buying the merch, would it actually solve the problem? I don't know if it does. Adidas are flinging money at them anyway. But yeah, you know, Elliot's here as well. He loves a bit of merch. Next day delivery straight to Canada. But yeah, Fitz, I hear you. I'm taking responsibility. I definitely am. It's full circle. It is. It is. Summertime, I get weak. 30 degrees, holidays, you feel good. You know, it's hypocrite business. I gave evidence on myself, people. It's like Gunnar on the stand. No, in fact, he gave evidence against Young Fug. It wasn't himself. But yeah, don't be a hypocrite. Who called me the hypocrite that time? That was brilliant. It should be a timeout. I should actually walk around the corner and just sit on the naughty step for 3 minutes. It's weak. It's a weakness, people. It really is. You know, it's like when you're trying to get that summer body and, you know, you've been in the restaurant and you've had your main and you think, right, I feel full. But they give you the dessert menu and you're like, oh, damn, chocolate brownie and ice cream. You know, it's tough. It ain't easy, people. It ain't easy, as my boy Saeed says, man. That merch be merching. I can't lie. Two things Arsenal know how to do, people. Merch and PR. We are the Real Madrid. We are Brazil 1970. We are Invincibles Arsenal when it comes to PR and merch. We are legendary. But yeah, it's a weakness that needs to be addressed. I got to stay away from that merch, man, especially in the summer. But hey, big up Fitz, man. You know, I need a new door. You know what I mean? You've kicked the door down. Sam said, Edu is back at it again. This is Maitland-Niles 2.0. Wolves offer 15 million. We reject it, then let him go for free. Oh, mate, honestly, when you think about some of the things Arsenal do, it's incredible. We are so bad at selling players. It's unbelievable. Big up, Sam. Maitland-Niles, we gave him away. Go said, hey, Curtis, we have some players to sell. Chelsea, are you guys interested? I told you, it won't surprise me. There will be a Chelsea link. There will be a Chelsea link in this window. Whether it's Cucurella, whether it's Conor Gallagher, there's going to be a Chelsea link. It better not happen this year. That brownie and ice cream slaps. Oh, bro, come on. You know, we've all been there in the restaurant, man. It's just, amazing. Make sure you get the likes up, people. Get the likes up. We've been live for just over 35 minutes. There's nearly 1,800 of you in the chat. Big up everyone on Twitch, the whole C unit. We're going to do plenty of content this week. Don't forget, from Monday, we'll be in LA. We'll be on the West Coast. And we will be doing daily walks down the street again, giving you the latest news. Hopefully I'll get some behind the scenes coverage for you as well, in terms of, hopefully I'll be in the press conference again, and also we should be obviously able to interview one or two of the players as well. Big up my boy Saeed. I believe you're going over as well, so obviously it's going to be mad. The big six are traveling over as well. So there'll be a link up over there. So, you know, obviously Saeed will be there, Man United. We're going to have loads of... We're going to have it on lock. LA's going to be crazy. And then obviously we go over to Philly and play Liverpool. And obviously we've got Bournemouth just before the United game. So, listen, there's going to be a lot going off. There's an event on as well. While we're in LA, Ian Wright is doing a talk over there. What's that show that Ian Wright does every Monday, man? The podcast. I forget. Wright His House. He's doing that live in LA. So we're going to be going to that. So if anyone is there, you know, we link up with the community in LA and stuff like that. Obviously, the disappointing thing is that Arsenal are going to have a very weak team by the look of it over there. Yeah, Master of Disaster, I did see that. It said Ramsdale, Saka, Raya and Rice are not expected back until after the tour to the USA. In fact, the one that I've seen as well also says Saliba won't be there because he got to the semi-final. So you are looking at Arsenal going on tour, playing Manchester United and Liverpool with no first-team goalkeeper. Cole Hine will probably be in goal. No Saka, so you're looking at Fabio Vieira or Reece Nelson playing right wing. No Declan Rice, so you're looking at Jorginho next to Thomas Partey. And no Saliba, so you're probably going to be playing... Who will be playing? Maybe Ben White next to Gabriel Magalhaes. We've got to get signings done. We have got to. When you think, just psychologically, we're going to play Man United. Man United, right? Onana hasn't gone to a tournament. Wan-Bissaka hasn't. Dalot got knocked out early. Martinez will miss it because he went to the final. But all players like Mason Mount, Rashford, Sancho, Højlund, all these guys are going to be playing. If you look at Liverpool, you know, Jota went out quite early. Salah didn't go to a tournament. We're going to be playing strong teams. Psychologically, you don't want to go over to America and get beat by Man U and then beat by Liverpool. So, we'll see. See you in Philly. Fresh Print settings, eh? Big up, bro. So, yeah, that tour, I feel a bit sorry for a lot of the fans, man, because the ticket prices are very, very high for those games. And, you know, people who maybe don't get to watch Arsenal very often, it's just a bit disappointing to go to a game, pay $200 and no Saka, no Declan Rice, no first-team goalkeeper, you know. But I suppose Cole Hine in goal, you could play Ben White, Tomiyasu, Gabriel, maybe Timber, midfield of Partey, Jorginho, Odegaard, front three. Maybe Havertz would be there. Martinelli would be there. Maybe you play Jesus on the right. High prices for low quality. Yeah, it does feel like that. But anyway, Smith Rowe, as I said, my point of view with Smith Rowe, I think he will end up going. If the offer's 30 million plus 5, maybe it's going to take 35 million plus 5 million in add-ons and that deal, or 40 million with no add-ons, and I think that deal happens. So I think Smith Rowe will be on his way. The report does say he would favour a move to Palace over Fulham. Obviously, he's a South London boy. Palace feel a little bit more stable than Fulham in the Premier League, so maybe Fulham isn't the club that he ends up at, but we'll see. Surely, if Palace make an offer, Arsenal should be talking about a swap deal for Eze. But we'll see what happens with that one, people. Let me just end this poll regarding João Felix. Being linked with a loan move to Arsenal today. Loan with an option to buy. Would you take João Felix on loan for Arsenal? 63% say yes. 37% say no. Desperate times equal desperate measures, people. You know what I mean? He's still a fantastic player. He just, you know, he has struggled on his loans. Maybe Arsenal could get the best out of him, but he is on massive wages and he does have years left on his contract. So he would be hard to get on a permanent basis. Let's move on from that, people. Smith Rowe looks like he's on his way. Arsenal being linked with a move for João Felix. Another Arsenal player on his way out potentially is Arsenal winger Reiss Nelson, a player for me. No disrespect, because I've met him before and he seems like a cool guy. We know the guy had mad potential when he came through. A lot of people said he was higher rated than Saka, higher rated than Jadon Sancho in the England under-21 setup, but it just hasn't happened for him. Reiss Nelson has informed Arsenal he wants to assess his options for a potential transfer this summer. West Ham are interested. Arsenal would want 20 million, including add-ons, if they decide to sell. That's coming from David Ornstein. Now, if you can get 20 million for Reiss Nelson, job done. Simple as that. Even if it looks like 15 million plus 5 million in add-ons, you get a little sell-on clause there just to cover your back in case he ever turns into a really good player. And you get him out. It hasn't happened for him. He hasn't developed. Yeah, you're right. Public and me. Bournemouth limbs will always go down as a great moment for him. He just hasn't. I think Nelson will sit there and think when he eventually leaves Arsenal that he hasn't taken his opportunity. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't had a lot of starts to prove himself. But when he has, he just hasn't done enough. And you know, he's got a lot of pace. He's very direct. The end product isn't good enough, in my opinion. And 20 million for Arsenal would be good business. Pure profit, as some of you are saying in the comments, came through the system. If you can get 40 million for Smith Rowe, 20 million for Nelson, maybe go and get 25 million for Eddie Nketiah, you're talking about pure profit. And then maybe Aaron Ramsdale as well. And what I keep saying is, if we do sell Smith Rowe, we do sell Reiss Nelson, we do get rid of Nketiah and Ramsdale, we are going to need to get homegrown or English players through the door. So surely we should be looking at the likes of Eze, Ivan Toney, and players like that. So we'll see what happens, but 20 million would be a no-brainer. Swap deal for Kudus. Well, they reckon Kudus has a Champions League release clause of about £75 million. So we'll see what happens with that one. But I don't think Arsenal will do that this summer. I'd like them to, but Tashik said, I hope you're a tennis fan, Big C. Thoughts on Alcaraz? Absolute baller. I'm glad he beat Djokovic. Hope you have a great trip to the States. Come on, you Gunners. Big up the C unit. Big up to you. And you gifted a Curtis Shaw TV membership, so really appreciate that. And Coburn Fabrizio. Big up Big C. Bro, why do we move so slow? We're tight and stingy, bro. We are tight. I know people online will tell you it's how negotiations work. This ain't Football Manager. Trust me, bro. I speak to ex-players. I speak to agents. Arsenal are known for this. They are stingy. They don't want to pay the money. They're always looking for a bargain. And we don't often get a bargain anyway with all the negotiating. So, Ivan Toney as well. Yeah, like I said, man, I would like to see Arsenal go for him, but whether we do or not, I'm not sure. But Reece Nelson to West Ham, 20 million. I'd be all over that. West Ham apparently have been interested in him a while. We know Brighton have liked him in the past, but they've changed managers. I think De Zerbi was the one that was interested in him, and he's moved on. I think he's at Marseille now. So let's see what happens with that one. And finally, the one you've all been waiting for, people. I mean, listen, contain your excitement. I'm actually not going to talk about Calafiori today. When the moon hits your eyes, Calafiori, we'll leave it. Sick of talking about him. Just tell me we're signing him or tell me the deal's off. We're not going to talk about him for today. I'm bored of talking about him. There's been no developments. Hold back your excitement. Damn Bentley. Check this for a story. This is The Athletic. Arsenal are short of experienced goalkeepers for their forthcoming pre-season tour of the USA, so they may return with another bid for Dan Bentley this week after Wolves rejected an opening offer worth 50k. Remember when I did the original story? There was guys in the comments saying, that's got to be a typo. It can't be 50k. It must have been 500k, and The Athletic left a zero at. Bro, we offered 50k. The funniest one, Dan Potts said it. He said, you couldn't buy a Bentley car for 50k. Never mind a player for 50k. Don't worry, 50 million and a pound will get it over. It'll get it over the line, people. 50 million and a pound, Wolves won't be able to resist. They paid 350 grand for him. We're offering 50 grand for him. I mean, it's the Arsenal way, people. Just imagine you're trying to buy this guy to be potentially your third choice goalkeeper. Third choice, you basically are not going to start one game all season. You're there to do the warm-up. You're there for vibes. You're going there for vibes. Vibes cartel. Do you know what I mean? Summertime business. Cartel. Gaza miss it. Right? And you can't get a third choice goalkeeper from Wolves. He wants to join Arsenal. He played for Arsenal as a youngster. He's more than happy to come to Arsenal, sit on the bench, vibes, do the warm-ups, kick the balls, do what they need to do, right? And we can't get that deal over the line. And I got people online telling me, this ain't Football Manager, that's not how negotiations work, blah, blah, blah. So we're trying to challenge Pep. You're telling me we can't get a third choice goalkeeper. They paid 350 grand. They'll probably accept 500 grand, 700 grand, double their money. They know he wants to leave. We're offering 50 grand. And people are telling me, you know, what you complaining about and stuff like that. This is the kind of thing I'm complaining about. This is the kind of thing. Like, get the deal done and just move on. This is a deal that I don't even want to talk about, to be honest. But there's so little transfer news, you know, I have to talk about it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They're not going to take 50k for the guy. 500k, 200k, whatever to Arsenal is basically pennies. It's absolutely pennies. So we'll see. We'll see with this one. But listen, just hold your excitement back, people. Just hold back. When this deal happens, you know, get straight down to the armory, get your shirts with Bentley on the back. Just really go for it. Transfer market are saying he's worth £1.5 million. Not that they're always right, by the way, but yeah, 50k? Come on. Come on, let's be serious. 50k wasn't a typo. Apparently, they didn't pay 350k. That was with the add-ons. But yeah, it is what it is. Eddie is on 100k per week. We offer 50k. Edu is a madman. It's crazy. But listen, Arsenal look like they're going to make a little panic offer for him now because they don't want to go on tour, play against Man United. Man United could have a front three of Højlund, Sancho and Rashford. You don't want to have Cole Heine in goal. No disrespect to a man like Heine, the Dubai Cup legend. So they may get this deal done this week. Damn, everyone will be so hyped about this one on the US tour. You know, Dan Bentley signs. 50k you don't even pay in the third division. Bro, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. League 2, they might buy a player for 100k. And Jorge said, all of this transfer window, one word, disgusting. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to be patient. What I'm saying to myself is that, and these are excuses, I am absolutely capping before I even say this. I am capping completely. I'm trying to just calm everyone down, because if I don't stay calm, you know, and it's summer and all that, maybe the Euros, maybe the Copa America, maybe we got to sell players, maybe we're negotiating deals in the background. That's all I've got. I'm trying to give you excuses. I'm trying to cap. It's Woosa. Woosa. Bad boys for life, people. That's all I can give you right now. I'm panicking. I'm panicking. I wanted to see at least 2 players on that US tour. Fresh, big signings, 60, 70 mil. Where's the striker? Where's the striker? Why do we think we cannot buy a striker? We need a striker. We need a defender, 1 or 2 midfielders, a backup goalkeeper if Ramsdale leaves, a striker, and probably a right winger. Probably a right winger as well. We have to do more. We have to do more. But I'm staying calm. Staying calm. I'm going to go LA, relax, take in the sunshine, watch some football, get some interviews, put some videos out. What they do, they do. I can't influence it. I just can't influence it. We all try, but they're going to do what they want. If Havertz is the striker for next season, Havertz is the striker. Pep must be sitting there thinking, Chelsea have just hired his former assistant manager. That's them out the window, right? I told you. Karate Kid ain't beating Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi might look old, wax on, wax off, but he taught him everything he knows, right? You've got Liverpool with Arne Slot. Don't think he's winning the league in his first year. Klopp had a lot of connection to that club. Liverpool do well, top 4. They ain't winning the league. Man United kept Ten Hag. They were going to sack him if they didn't beat Man City. I still don't rate Ten Hag. And then you've got Tottenham. They don't win anything. And you got Arsenal. We're the ones that need to push the boat out, go and spend 200 million. So it's down to us. We got to do something, people. We got to do something. Listen, thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to get lots of content done this week in terms of streams, because obviously we'll be down to short content next week. Tashik, thank you for gifting another membership to the community. What I'm going to do this year, last year I didn't do live streams while I was over there, but I'm going to get a few in this year, because where we're staying, I believe the Wi-Fi is a lot better. So I will be doing my daily walk up and down the street transfer videos. I'm also going to try while I'm away to get, 2 or 3 or 4 live streams in as well, just to connect with the community and so on and so forth. So we're going to do that while we're over there. And yeah, people, I will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. And we'll see if anything happens. This week we're going to get a member streaming as well before I fly out. That may be over the weekend. Weekend's very quiet. I am trying to go to this, for any of the basketball fans. As you know, I'm a big basketball fan. The US basketball team are playing at the O2 in London on Saturday and on Monday as part of their Olympic warm-ups. They're playing South Sudan on Saturday and Germany on Monday, but obviously the plan is to fly to America on Monday. So I'm going to try and go to this US basketball game on Saturday. I've never watched LeBron James live, and obviously Steph Curry and all that there. So I'm going to try and go and watch that over the weekend. Relax, take my mind off the football a little bit. Hopefully Arsenal get some business done. So listen, people, is there anything else? United making moves. Southgate, yeah, Southgate left. Listen, people, thank you very much for tuning in today. Really appreciate your support as always. And hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be back 2 p.m. tomorrow, people. Bless.